fuck a rock star. Mirror, mirror on the wall, who is the flyest one of all? Mirror, mirror, mirror on the wall, who is the flyest one of all?
All right. Welcome everybody to another BDA Boxing podcast, broadcasting to you live from the true north. This is your friend, Mr. BDA. Glad that everybody could be on board for this one. And alongside with me, as always, my co-host, the one, the only King Bucho. King, are you there? Bucho, are you there? All right. Having a couple little technical difficulties here. But rest assured, we're going to be taking care of everything here. In the meantime, we're going to be talking a little boxing. Just a little bit, you know, nothing too serious. A lot of fights last night. Man, I got to tell you, there's some good fights. A little bit of everything for everybody. And that's essentially how it's going to go down here. All right, now hold on a second. I don't even know which fight we're going to start with. So I guess it'll be up to you guys. Also, don't want to be here too long, take up too much of your guys' time. But, well, hold on a second. Alright, so we're going to be talking about last night's fights. So thanks again, guys, for joining us on this Halloween spooky season. Almost there, almost to the end. And then it's Christmas. And then, you know how it goes. Non-stop. Pretty soon it's fucking, what's his name? St. Valentine's, which isn't even really a holiday, but you know how it is. These people, they just want to make money, 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 money. They sell you everything. I wouldn't be surprised if right in the middle of December they start selling those St. Valentine decorations. St. Valentine's. Why am I saying St. Valentine? Like as if it was in French. But you guys know how it goes here. Last night, I'm still deliberating. I'm stalling here because I'm deliberating about which fights to talk about. And by the way, guys, I want to give a shout out to everybody in the chat room. Rascalo222, Virtuoso, Nino Gaggi, Mark Funk, The Punisher. I'm interested in something here because I didn't see the whole HBO card. Did they do any sort of special send-off? Seeing as how it's, I think it might be their last HBO broadcast. So did they do some sort of a special? What the hell's going on here? Hold on, fucking shit. Yeah, did they do some sort of a special send off? Did they do some? Did they show a video package or a video montage of the best HBO? Like, come on, somebody fill me up here. Fill me in here on what happened, because I need to know. Shout out to Azzy. I don't even know, how do you say that name? Azzy. I don't know how you spell it, or how you pronounce it rather. Nino Gaggi says they're having one more card, BDA, in November. Vival versus Pascal. All right, so I guess they're gonna be doing a send off there. And by the way, I was watching. Let's start along with this one then. Jacobs versus Derevianchenko. Jacobs won by decision. I forget if it was. All right, let's look at the scorecards first of all, because we're going to get to that in the meantime. But there were 115, 112 for Jacobs, and then Julie Letterman had a 114, 113 for Derevianchenko. Okay. Now, oh, Butch, are you there?
Yeah, I don't know. This piece is a piece of shit, man. I could hear the whole time. I couldn't get in.
Okay, take it easy. Oh, you were there. I saw you. Anyway.
Yeah, but I was listening to everything you were saying, and I couldn't just... Man, we have to try Skype. This is a piece of shit. Google Hangouts is a piece of shit.
Skype. That's where it's at, man.
Skype, man. I'm going to do some tests this week, so... Anyways.
All right, I'm just talking about Daniel Jacobs versus Derevianchenko. First of all, very good fight. I was thoroughly entertained. It wasn't an all-out action fight, but it was, you know, a lot of action, a lot of uppercuts in there, body shots, which I love, obviously. Derevianchenko pushed Jacobs, even though at some point early in the fight, it looked like he might not be in the same league, but credits to Derevianchenko. The decision, I gotta tell you, I'm surprised here because I was reading the conversation that goes on the BDA Hangout, the BDA Hangout page, and Pavel, I think John Gonzalez, reverse Lee. And who else was it saying? They were saying that they thought Derevianchenko clearly won the fight. What do you think, Bucho? What was your opinion?
On the Jacobs, man, I thought it was a unanimous decision.
For Jacobs?
Yeah, and Julie Letterman gave it for Derevianchenko. That was surprising in my opinion.
That's what I'm saying, because I was reading the conversations from our Hangout group. And like I said, some people, like Official Boxing Scorecard, John, Reverse Lee, they thought that Derevianchenko won. I don't know. I would like to talk to them and ask them straight up, because maybe I'm misreading things. I'm a little fucked up right now. I just did a 14-hour rotation at the ICU, even though I don't work there. But I mean, that's what they're saying. They're saying they thought Jacobs deserved to lose.
I don't know. I feel like Derevianchenko wasn't doing enough, especially on the inside. He should have been throwing more punches when he was on the inside. He wasn't doing that, which is something I said he should be doing. He wasn't throwing that right hand, which was there for the. I mean, Derevianchenko could have landed that right hand so many times. He just wasn't throwing any punches.
Jacobs does a very good job of rolling with it. He can take away that right. He took away the right hand from Golovkin too. So I'm not surprised that he was able to take it away from Derevianchenko. The one that did land a lot of right hands on him a little bit was Sulecki. But that's because he throws him straight, not a lot of power. So he maximizes speed by sacrificing power. And he was able to catch Jacobs a little bit in their fight. But Derevianchenko throws it with the elbow lifted up a little bit to get more power. And that's why I think Jacobs was able to take it away. But Bucho, did you see that that right hand from Jacobs when he dropped Derevianchenko? Right on the temple. It looked like a slap, but it's such a hard slap because Jacobs is heavy-handed. He just dropped Derevianchenko, and it was the same type of right hand that hurt Quillen in their fight. Remember?
Yeah.
So that's why when people say, "Wow, why didn't Golovkin just jump on Jacobs in their fight?" Because he fucking slaps pretty fucking hard. He's got the type of power.
And I've criticized his slapping type of punches, but I've always said they are slaps, but they're not just simple slaps. I mean, they hurt. They look like slaps, but they hurt. So.
Well, he caught him on the temple and dropped him with it. That's power right there, man.
Yeah.
And it reminds me a little bit of Deontay Wilder, of whom we're going to be talking about more and more as the weeks go along. I was rewatching, by the way, the Luis Ortiz fight against Wilder. Man, Wilder was not doing anything for the first 4 rounds. It was only after he dropped him, and then after he dropped Ortiz, and then he had Ortiz a little bit on the defensive, that's when he started to be able to land that right hand a couple of times. But even then, he was getting outboxed by Ortiz. But anyway, we're going to get to that later. Okay, so yeah, so Jacobs was able to get this fight, pull it off. I was surprised that Derevyanchenko, he got dropped, and then in the same round, he was able to catch Jacobs with a left hook, right hand combination. And from then on, it seemed like he was going to be able to rally. And then in the middle rounds, Jacobs took over. And it wasn't until the last couple of rounds that Derevianchenko finally managed to put the pedal to the metal. Anybody else, Bucho, some of the body shots that he took from Jacobs, anybody else I think would have been stopped. A lesser level opponent like Caleb Truax did. But man, Derevianchenko is tough. He might not have... Okay, compare and contrast his performance with that of Luis Arias. Both guys were unproven, not a big name in their records. But whereas Arias couldn't really figure out what to do against Jacobs, Derevianchenko had that pedigree, amateur pedigree. He was feinting. He was going to the body. He did all the right things. He was always one step below Jacobs in the action. Did you see that, or do you think Derevianchenko can become a better fighter? What are your opinions?
I mean, can he become a better fighter? He's a good fighter. He's a great fighter, skill-wise. I just think that he had to throw more punches. And I mean, I know it's easy to say from a spectator point of view. Yeah, just throw more punches, and you're gonna open up and get hit by a guy who can get hit. Who can hit like fucking Jacobs, who hits really hard. Right. Of course, it's easy for us to tell him, you just open up and throw more punches. But that's what he had to do. You know what I mean? That's what you had to do. And you want to become a champion, you have to let your hands go. I mean, I'm sorry. Yeah, you might get knocked out, but sorry, man, that's part of the game. And so skill wise, I think he can improve. I think he's really good skill wise, but just let your hands go, and that comes too hard. Maybe maybe he doesn't have it. Maybe he got knocked down on the early, and he didn't want to get knocked down again. And I don't know. And seriously, because he had the opportunities to throw more punches, and he didn't want to throw more punches. What do you want me to tell you?
Because he was getting countered. I mean.
Oh, yeah, okay, so then that's it. You're not going to improve anymore. What does he have to do, man?
He can improve the way he attacks, and maybe close the
that's true.
distance
That's true.
quick.
Because that right hand was telegraphed so much, man.
Right.
Yeah,
He was
two shitty jabs, and here comes the right hand, Jacobs. You're right. That right hand was very telegraphed.
because I mean he did, to his credit, he did trade with Jacobs in the last 2 rounds, or at least the 12th round, from what I can remember.
Yeah.
They were trading I was expecting somebody to get dropped again, but to their credit, they did not. I just think Derevyanchenko has to work on closing the distance, like you said, not telegraphing that right hand. Because like I said before also, Jacobs has a very good ability to roll with the right hands and to take that right hand away from you. And you saw Luis Arias, he was terrified of leading against Jacobs. And you saw Derevyanchenko wasn't that scared, and he got caught with some mean shots to the body and some real good uppercuts. Credit to him, very tough. Now this begs a question, Bucho. Everybody that was saying that Triple G would have he was afraid of Derevianchenko.
Oh.
Do you what?
Oh yeah.
All right,
right.
somebody's screaming in the background. What the hell's going on?
Yeah, there's fucking kids. Here's shit, man.
All right.
All right.
I don't even want to know what's going on. But all right, listen. I don't want to go into the Golovkin thing because then we're gonna talk about Golovkin all night. But Jacobs, so he comes out of here with a good win, a bit of a tough competitive fight, but he came out the winner. Clear winner, in my opinion. What do you think is next for him? Because they were talking about him against Andrade, maybe Billy Joe Saunders. Of course, the Charlos, he had a beef with them via the internet. And then when he stepped up to one of the Charlos, Jermel or Jermal, whichever one he is, he turned very passive, very quick. And so there's a lot of options there for Jacobs. But what do you think about Jacobs after this fight? Do you still think, because I know you weren't really that high on him, do you think he's a problem for anybody? Do you think he's overrated still? Like, what are your opinions?
I never think he was overrated.
No? Okay, then maybe I
misheard you. That, man. I think his inside work is overrated. No, he's a problem for everyone in that division, in my opinion. He has power, athleticism. He's big, long arms. Yeah, he's a problem for anybody, and I still think he can beat Jermal Charlo.
Mm-hmm. I always forget which Charlo that is.
Yeah. So hey, listen, he's a top 3 middleweight. So you have Canelo, Golovkin, and then Jacobs.
Middleweight division is pretty good. The only problem is one of the Charlos. I mean, the Charlo that's not middleweight. I don't think he's gonna fight anybody unless he gets away from the Heyman umbrella and he can finally take on guys like Billy Joe Saunders, Andrade, Jacobs, maybe Canelo and Golovkin as well. Because listen, people are talking about that whole Golovkin versus Charlo mandatory. Forget about the titles, forget about the mandatories. If they're not with the same network, the fight ain't gonna happen. That's just the way it goes. Nowadays, networks supersede the titles. So no matter what the title mandates, if they're not gonna make the fight because of the two warring promoters, then sorry, fight ain't gonna happen. Also about
Can I read some comments?
Yeah, go ahead, sure.
We have Canelo, given my fight, says Lemieux versus Derevianchenko would be a banger.
Oh yeah.
Then we have Nino Gaji says Odell Beckham, aka Charlo, was petrified when Jacob stepped to him.
Stepped to him. Sorry. Can't you read, you fucking...
Oh, man. Jesus. And then we have Kiwi Boxing. In the chat says, Charlo's only talk. Sick of those clowns.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, they're very talkative.
Canelo against Charlo should fight Saunders, get schooled. And the Punisher says, Jacobs will beat Charlo like cancer. Oh, my God.
Wait a minute. First of all, Jacobs beat cancer.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that was a reference to that.
No, yeah, he said Jacobs will beat Charlo like cancer, so he's gonna win.
But Jacobs, but nobody got beat by cancer. Anyway,
that's what he's saying. Jacobs beat cancer, and he's gonna beat Charlo. Like he.
Like he did beat cancer. Okay, I get it.
Yeah.
My goodness, we're all over the place today. Guerrero de la Info
I don't.
says, which Charlo is the better one? That's a good question. There is one Charlo that punches harder, right? And that is supposed to be the middleweight one?
Yeah, Jermal
Okay.
with an A.
Jamal. Okay. The Shepherd of Sun says, Ego and Deontay came out with vids today saying that Golovkin dogged Charlo. Well, listen, I mean,
Fucking
that's all.
Christ.
But hold on. That's all they're gonna talk about. Who? You ever notice that's all they talk about? Who dogs who? This guy dogs this guy. They never talk about the actual fights. It's a little
Nah,
fucking
they can't
depressing.
break down fights. They can't talk about anything else but fucking Entertainment Tonight, Access Hollywood bullshit, man. They are
I really,
gossip divas. They don't know shit, and I can't believe they have followers, man.
I really do think that's all they talk about in their personal life as well. Like when they're walking down the street, because they come from that culture. Like I always say, when they're playing basketball, and they talk as
Yeah.
if they're in a fight. Like I'm gonna fuck you up, baby. I'm gonna fuck you up, but they're talking about doing it in the court. But it's
Yeah.
sort of like a pseudo fight where they say all the things that they would say in a fight, but they're not actually fighting. So I don't know. It's a little bit like masturbation. You know, it's like macho masturbation. It's a little bizarre, and I want no part of it. Now listen, when it comes to Jacobs, like I said, he's a full package, man. He can make you miss. He can make you pay. He sees things. He made adjustments in the Derevyanchenko fight because Derevyanchenko started to make a little bit of a comeback in round 2, 3, and 4. And then Jacobs adjusted. He found his timing. He would make Derevyanchenko miss and make him pay. Like I said, he was countering with some bombs to the body. And that sort of slowed Derevyanchenko down in those middle rounds. And I think that's what really made those middle rounds gave Jacobs the win. So he can adapt in the middle of the fight. I don't know if Charles can do that. Billy Joe Saunders definitely can't really do that all that well because against Monroe, it was just him doing the bare minimum to win. When somebody fights Billy Joe Saunders and they don't commit, Billy Joe Saunders doesn't look all that impressive. Against that Eastern European guy either, Billy Joe Saunders didn't look all that hot. He does look good when people go at him, like Lemieux. And even against Chris Eubank Jr., he started to wilt in those late rounds, and he was just doing a Klitschko impression, holding. So I don't know if Billy Joe Saunders can outbox Daniel Jacobs. And if it comes to a boxing match, and both guys are pretty good boxers, you factor in that Jacobs has heavier hands. He has more power. And hand speed. Yeah, I think the hand speed is a little bit better from Jacobs. I think. I'm not sure.
No, Manolila is better than Lemieux.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, Lemieux wasn't going to cause any problems for Saunders with regards to speed.
Mhm.
Jacobs has speed. He's awkward. In a way, he's kind of awkward. Let's be honest. He switches stances. He can cause some problems for Billy Joe Saunders. But Lemieux or Monroe Jr., who's fucking scared to let his hands go, of course they're going to be easy praise for a guy like Saunders.
Mm-hmm. Especially if he's heavy on the nasal spray, if you know what I mean.
Oh, yeah. Well.
But look, Jacobs did that, and I was watching the HBO fight, of course. I mean, the HBO telecast. And again, a couple of the things that they were saying, I'm not gonna miss the HBO team, commentating team, if this is their before last telecast. Because man, some of the things. First of all, Roy Jones is always calling Jacobs Danny by his first name, and he does that with the fighters he likes, and with the fighters that he doesn't or that he's indifferent towards, he'll address them by their last name. Then you had then he kept saying that Derevyanchenko was breathing heavily. Oh, look at him, he's breathing heavily. I don't like it. And like, okay. In the first couple of rounds when he was doing it, I agreed with Roy Jones. Like, yeah, what the fuck's he looks like he's out of breath. But then he kept doing it throughout the fight. By the 9th round, you knew he wasn't gonna run out of steam. I guess that's just what he does, the way he breathes, Derevyanchenko. But Roy Jones kept saying it's like, oh, he's gonna wilt, he's gonna try. It's like, oh man. Anyway, I thought it was bizarre. Roy Jones was great as a commentator back in the 90s and in the mid 2000s when he came back. But then now, I mean, I don't know. I'm not gonna miss the HBO commentating team. That's all I gotta say about that. I gotta put it that way.
They were extremely biased.
What was that?
They were extremely biased.
Last night, you mean, or lately?
With Jacobs, they were extremely biased.
Oh yeah.
Jacobs, they were screaming and come on, calm down. I know you like Jacobs, but
undercover Asian.
It just looked biased, in my opinion.
Undercover Asian in the chat room says, "Who won the story of the fight last night?" Yeah, I thought Derevyanchenko won the story of the fight because he wasn't supposed to do as well as he did. So hey, I guess Max Kellerman shouldn't have given him the decision, just like he did Canelo against Triple G in the rematch. People are saying also, Violence News Network says get rid of Kellerman. Nino says Larry Merchant is and always will be the greatest of all time. So Guerrero de la Info says the same thing. Neto says Roy Jones is a beast compared to Sugar Ray and Sergio Mora. Well, of course. I mean, Sergio Mora, I haven't really heard him commentate. What was it in PBC? Was he doing the commentating for the PBC at one point? I think I did heir him then.
Sergio Mora is now with the Zone.
Oh, is he? Okay, I didn't know.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, listen, Bucho, this middleweight division is really starting to look very good. Like I said, all we need is these guys to start fighting each other. Who do you think wins between Jacobs and Andrade?
Jacobs and Andrade. I'll take Jacobs. Andrade doesn't look that bad. I know some people are very critical of Andrade.
Mm-hmm.
He's a good boxer, but he's not proven yet. And Jacobs, you can say he is. If I got like Golovkin, put on a good fight. We saw Derevyanchenko, who in my opinion is a very good boxer. He won that fight. So just based on the resume, I'll pick Jacobs.
Speaking of resumes, Bucho, Jacobs has a very good resume. If you want to factor in, like if you want to make give him the benefit of the doubt in all aspects, you think about it. He beat Mora. I know Mora was shot with the knees and everything. But okay, but he beat him. He beat Caleb Truax, who, as it turns out, isn't all that bad a fighter. And really, Jacobs made it look easy against Truax. He gave Golovkin a very tough fight. Oh, he knocked out Quilly in one round as well. Luis Arias, okay, unproven to a certain point. He beat the undefeated Sulecki, who I think people are going to see is a very good fighter. And now he beats another undefeated guy, a very determined fighter and strong fighter in Derevyanchenko. So that's 3 opponents in the last 3-4 years that are undefeated that he's been able to beat. A very good resume. A very good resume. Like the Shepherd of Sun says as well. Good resume, lots of undefeated records in there. So Jacobs is doing himself a lot of good with the fights. And if he continues like this and he can get himself another big name, I dare say, depending on what happens with other fighters, he might just start creeping into the top 10 pound for pound list. But then again, that's all subjective. Doesn't really matter as long as he's one of the top middleweights in the world. Let's see what happens there. All right, Bucho. Let's move on to the 140-pound tournament. 2 fights from the WBSS took place last night. Let me put on the... Oh, somebody's burning something over there. Bucho, could you...
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. It's a fucking mess here.
All right, whatever. But as you can see here, Regis Prograis got a decision over Terry Flannagan. It won the decision. I think some people were expecting maybe Prograis to win, but credit to Flannagan for staying in there. And then, of course, Ivan Baranchyk took out Anthony Yigit because of a cut and a badly swollen eye as well. Very bad-looking injury.
Christ.
What?
The eye.
Did
you notice that the corner... I don't know. I'm not an expert on this stuff. Do you think that the corner was doing a good job with the eye, looking at the eye?
I'll tell you what, because I was watching the fight the day after, so I was skipping over during the in between rounds. But I did see the before last round when the doctor started checking, and I saw that they were putting the end swell on him. So I guess it was just a bad cut.
It was 30 seconds they were doing that, and then the rest of the 1 minute they weren't touching. No, the first 30 seconds they weren't touching that. At the end they were using the swelling thing. I don't know the name of these instruments, man, but you know the thing where you. So it's like they weren't. I don't know, but usually when I see a boxer have that, like the eye swelling, it's the whole minute they're working on the eye for 1 whole minute, not 30 seconds.
Right. Well, it's also another thing is Yigit looked very like he had a deep chest, like he's doing weights or at least bench pressing or something, and it made me think about how much he was actually weighing on the day of the fight. Same thing with Baranchyk. Both guys look very strong, and you got to remember that sometimes when these guys they rehydrate, or when they lose a lot of weight and then they rehydrate, there can be some easy swelling because of all the water retention that goes on afterwards.
Oh
So
shit!
yeah, maybe that's why the eye swelled up so much. But by the way, technically the injury was caused by a punch, hence why they stopped the fight. But was it indeed caused by a punch, or because I wasn't able to see when that swelled.
I'm not sure, man. I just no, I don't know when it happened. I just started seeing the eye swell up. And by the way, that was pretty early, huh? It was like before round four. You could already see. Sorry, what's the Swedish guy's name? Yigit. His
Swedish,
eye
yeah.
was already swelling up. It took 4 rounds. To me, that tells me that the coroner is not doing their job.
Maybe, man. I mean, I don't know. I'm not a cut man.
I heard
I
that
know you're an
that
expert.
one fight they said that was like, anyways.
We should get an expert on cuts like Pavel
Yeah.
or John Gonzalez. They're used to making cuts, so maybe we should ask them. But listen, what were your impressions of Baranchik?
I like him. He's aggressive. I wasn't super impressed. I mean, I heard that he's some sort of monster. I want to see him in the semifinals. Who's he gonna fight now? Prograis?
He's gonna fight the winner of Taylor versus what's his name? The other guy, Martin, not Martin. Ryan Martin. Ryan Martin.
Oh, okay, I thought he was gonna fight. Okay. Yeah, I want to see more. He looked good. He's not a monster.
All right. You're repeating the same thing over and over. Listen, Baranchik. Maybe it's my fault because I hyped this guy up a little bit. I even gave a little bit of a disclaimer on the last show. I said I don't know how good this guy is because in his last fight he destroyed Peter Petrov. The only guy who had ever destroyed Petrov was a prime Marcus Maidana. So I was pretty impressed with the way Baranchik had done it. And in this fight, here's what I like about Baranchik. Strong, aggressive, like you said. What I don't like, a little bit too crude around the edges. He's got good footwork, in and out footwork when he wants to use it. He's being trained by Pedro, what's his name? The guy who trained he's the one that used to train Cotto and the one that used to train Rigondeaux, the Cuban guy.
Oh yeah.
People will tell us in the chat room, but he's that guy. So you can tell that he's really making Baranchik be able to box a little bit because Baranchik, he does have some amateur experience. He's not just a come forward brawler. I loved his body shots as well. And Pedro Diaz. Thanks, Violence. Violence News Network gives us the name. I liked Baranchik. And Yigit, even though he'd never fought anybody and he had a low knockout ratio, he still was able. I knew he was going to put up a good fight because you can't hit Baranchik, especially when he's coming forward. But man, that motherfucker looks strong, man. And I tell you what else, Bucho. Let me put the bracket up again on the screen. I don't know if you can see the tournament bracket. You got Baranchik, who moves on to the semifinal. Josh Taylor, next week, he's going to be taking on Ryan Martin. Not an easy fight either. I think Ryan Martin, despite his inexperience, he's a long, tall fighter, quick. So we're going to see what happens. But this is a more difficult bracket than the left side of the bracket, where you have Prograis, who's going to be taking on Carol Relic. I tell you what, if I'm either Josh Taylor or Baranchik, I would rather take on Relic in the semifinal. Because Relic, he pushes the pace, he's determined, he's got great stamina. He showed it against what's his name, Barthélemy in the last fight. But a guy like, and we're gonna get to that later, but a guy like Prograis who can box and punch, it's gonna be hard for him. But anyway, before we continue, I see we got Stu on the line.
I wasn't bad.
I told you what's going to happen, Price. I told you he's going to be sleeping. I told you the ambulance is going to come. The oxygen mask is going to come out. I told you he's going to miss the main event. I told you all them things were going to happen.
All right.
What's happening, boys?
Not much, Stu. Good to have you on board. Just talking about the WBSS fights from last night. Please tell me you watched some of them.
Yeah, I managed to catch 3 of them. I watched Prograis Flannagan. I watched Jacobs. I watched who's the other fight I watched? Oh, the Fury Pulev fight.
Oh,
I watched that.
That's the one I didn't watch. I heard it was dreadful.
Just put it this way: I won't be searching it in the Google bar anytime soon.
Who televised it?
It was on Channel 5 in the UK, just normal TV, basic channel.
Okay. So when they put the fights that the good ones, they put them on cable or pay-per-view, and the shitty ones that everybody can see.
It depends. I think Mick Hennessy's got a deal with Channel 5, so his fight. I think Who Fury is with Mick Hennessy, I think, and I think he's got a deal with Channel 5, so I think that's why Fury fights. I think Frampton used to fight on Channel 5 as well with when he was with McGuigan, so they have a few decent fights. And Josh Taylor, he's on Channel 5, so they've got a few good fighters, but just Fury is not one of them.
What happened? What happened? I heard it was a lot of not clutching and grabbing and non punching.
It was horrible. It was just horrible. It was just too. It was like watching two boring snooker players. I don't know if you've ever watched snooker, where you get a player and he's really boring to watch, like Steve Davis, where he'll take 20 minutes to take a fucking shot. And that's what it was just like, just too boring. It was just dreadful. No really world-class punches being thrown. Pulev was the better guy in there. His punches were more accurate, shall we say. He wasn't throwing a lot himself. It was just very defensive. When Huey Fury tried to take the initiative, because it's not in him to do it, he just looked horrible. He just kept telegraphing the right hand all the time. It was sloppy. It was coming over the top with it, but it was wide and slow and predictable. It was just a hideous performance from Huey Fury. I mean, I just don't know really what to say about this fight, bro. It's just.
Well, let me just ask you this then. Let me just ask you this.
You said it would be. I
didn't even watch the fight, so I don't even know what. That's why I'm asking what happened. But so what's the call on Huey Fury? Because there was a point where people were saying after the Joseph Parker fight, well, okay, it was his first big fight. He was doing a lot of dancing, not enough punching. He's gonna improve. Now he fights a 37-year-old guy, and he ends up looking like crap. So is this guy ever gonna be good, or?
I think what happened was, I think because he got cut early, it was quite a bad cut as well. So I think the corner have said to him, look, this could be stopped anytime soon. So go out there and try and get this guy out of there. But it's just not in his nature to fight like that. And then, you know, it's like getting it's like asking Kevin Johnson to go on the front foot, stalk a guy and throw in the pocket and let his hands go. It's just not going to fucking happen, is it? You know, when you're stuck in your old ways. And I think, although Huey Fury is a young fighter, he's stuck in his old ways. He only knows how to fight on the back foot, pop shot his way to a points win if he's lucky. I mean, it was just horrible. Pulev's still a decent fighter. Pulev, he's very tricky, but he's also very boring to watch, and he doesn't throw his hands enough for me either. He doesn't do a lot. He picks his moment, shall we say? You know, waits for the right opportunity, and he'll wait 5-6 minutes sometimes. He's got a nice jab, but he's not spectacular to watch. He's boring as well. So you stick him in there with someone like Huey Fury, and it's just going to be a shit fest from start to finish. And unfortunately, that's what it was. It was just horrible to watch. I'm confused what to say. You know, I mean, I'm mixing up my words because I just don't know what to say about this fight. It was just horrible.
Well, I think you've said it all. I think you've said it all. It's if the fight sucked, the fight sucked. Thank God. I'm a little selfish here. Thank God I didn't watch it. And I'm not going to be watching any Huey Fury fights anytime soon, or Pulev for that matter. We also have Boxing Style on the line. Boxing Style, are you there?
What's up, guys?
What's up, man? Just all right. Please turn the TV down or something.
Yeah, I just turned it off.
Or go to your closet, into your closet.
Oh no, I don't do closets, bro.
He just came out of the closet.
Yeah, he just came. All right, listen. We were talking about the Branchik fight, and I don't know if the Huey Fury fight. I mean, come on, it was what it was. Apparently, fucking sucked. So, but we were talking about Branchik. Did you guys watch that fight, or should we move on to the what's his name, Prograis fight?
No, I did not watch.
Yeah, I watched it.
The Branchik fight.
Yigit. Was it against Yigit? Is his name?
Yeah, Yigit, the Swede.
Yigit, or whatever his name is. Yeah, he was very tough, very good chin, and quite a slick boxer, but just not strong enough.
He was getting hit the whole time.
No, he was getting hit, but he did well to survive as long as he did. let's be real, he did well to survive as long as he, you know what I mean? In the day, I thought he was going to get taken out quite early when he started getting hit with some bombs and that eye started to swell. I thought this is going to be over quick, but he hung in there, never really looked like winning the fight, but he had his moments and he was, you know, he showed some nice stuff in there, just not strong enough. Just didn't have enough strength in his punches, just weren't strong enough to keep the guy off him. So at the end of the day, it was a good fight for me. I enjoyed it. But.
Yeah, it was a good fight. Butcher, he wasn't getting hit at will. You know what I mean?
No, but he, like Stu said. So I'm not good with names. What's the guy? The Russian guy?
Yeah.
Baranchik.
Sorry,
He's from Belarus,
guy.
I
What's
think.
his name?
Baranchik.
Baranchik. He just looks stronger, like physically stronger.
Yeah.
Like Igit would throw punches and like they wouldn't do any harm to Baranchik, whatever his name is. So
yeah. It was just a bit disturbing that Baranchik was like fucking loading up on his shots, and they weren't really hurting Matey, were they? I know they were hurting him, but they weren't really fucking stunning him or, you know, fucking him, making him back off. You know, he was swallowing a lot of them punches. And I know they were comparing him with Golovkin. I just think Golovkin, when he's hitting you like that, he's doing a lot more damage. And Baranchik's a strong kid, young kid. He's going to learn. Of course, he's going to get better. But I don't think his power is as good as what people say it is, because Jit was swallowing a lot of them shots, and he was loading up, like fucking loading up them shots. I think that's why he blew a bit of steam himself and had to take breathers, because he was fucking loading up on his shots.
I missed all them fights except for Derevyanchenko and Danny Jacobs. That's the only one I watched. I watched bits of Prograis versus Flannagan. Prograis did good. I didn't really watch the fight. I watched highlights of it.
Were you too busy eating cereal?
Yeah, it was, bro.
Yeah, I knew it.
Fruit Loops.
All right, Fruit Loops. Hold on a second. I gotta invite. Recognize the Matrix. Listen, were you guys surprised that Yigit, a Swede, was able to fight as hard as he did? Because, you know, nowadays the Swedes, they have the reputation of laying down and letting a bunch of...
He's half Turkish or something. He's Turkish, that's why.
Yeah, but did you hear that the commentator for that fight, he was actually saying that in Sweden, he had to move to Norway to box, because in Sweden, they're only allowed to fight for 20-minute fights. They're not allowed to fight for 36 minutes. I mean, what a fucking cook.
What?
Fucking little hellhole Sweden is. They're the most pussified nation on the planet, aren't they? They're not allowed to. They're only allowed to fight for 20 minutes over there. My man had to leave the country to get proper sparring and proper fights, because he couldn't fight any more than 20 minutes in Sweden.
Wait. Are you saying that they're not allowed to, like, the actual boxing fights or in sparring?
Yeah, the fights, the boxing fights. You know, if they put on a fight in Sweden, it can't go any longer than 20 minutes.
I'm looking this up because I don't believe it, man.
This is what the commentator was saying. So don't take my word for it. This is what the commentator was saying when I was watching the fight.
Anybody can anybody give us? Can anybody confirm
that part? But I mean, I wouldn't be surprised.
Look at that. That is true. They said it during the fight.
Yeah, but they said it. By the way, hold on a second. I gotta introduce everybody here that's coming in.
Fuck, mate, it's life, man. You only live once. Make the most of life. Enjoy it. Everybody's got their weird fetishes, man. And mine just happens to be eating fucking ass.
Don't get fooled when they tell you that the crime rate is down in New York. Every time I watch the local news, they're always talking about, well, there was a stabbing here, there was a stabbing there, there was a shooting there, but the crime is down.
All right, guys, thank you for being on. Cameron, I gotta first of all straighten something with you out. What's the matter with you doing all these fucking live hangouts and you don't invite your good old friends Butcher and BDA?
Do you know what, man? I didn't even plan to do a hangout tonight. I just went on and did a little sort of discussion about boxing just for a quick 20-minute video, my review. Then Recognize jumped in the thing. I thought, you know what? I'm going to send in a link. Then Junior and J. Rock Williams hits me up saying he wants to come on the show. So he got on. It just all went pear-shaped, man. So we ended up doing an interview with him, and just, yeah, man, it wasn't really planned. But I mean, Recognize done a good little show there with Junior and Williams. It was a good interview.
Yeah, I saw that, and I gotta tell you, I feel left out But then again, I don't want to sound like a diva because I couldn't even if you would have invited me.
There was a panelist on the show that you might not have wanted to interact with, so...
There was Hamed, I think, so who wants to talk to that piece of shit? Oh, come
anyway,
on, man.
check out... Listen, check out Cameron's podcast. He's got a channel, and he's doing podcasts again. Also, don't forget to check out Recognize the Matrix's channel.
Wait a second, you guys are over with?
Was that?
That's it, it's over?
Well, yeah, I just wanted to know. But even that's I was even reluctant of bringing it up because even if he would have invited me, I wouldn't have been able to. I was really busy. I wasn't even. Myself, I didn't even plan on doing a show. So I understand where Cameron is coming from when doing these last minute shows. It takes quite some time to fucking set up and think about what you're gonna talk about. Okay, by the way,
Julian Williams, come on, man. We had Julian Williams. You know, we're doing.
It was a really good. It was a good interview, right? I mean, me and Record, we were so unprepared, but you just kind of jumped on. Like usually, when I do an interview, I prepare a list of questions. Whereas this one, it was kind of off the bat. But no, we talked about all sorts of stuff. It was a good discussion, man.
Is he a Muslim, by the way?
I went on that podcast. All I heard was crickets.
All right, hold on a second. Boxing style already. Cameron gets in here, not even 2 minutes, and already you're gonna go after him. What I mean, is this how it's gonna go?
I mean, I heard crickets, bro. I'm not gonna.
There was more knowledge. There was more knowledge said in that half an hour on that podcast than Boxing Style's entire time lapse on these BDA stars.
Oh, my goodness gracious!
Man, by the way, you can't even tell time. Shut up.
All right. By the way, is Julian Williams a Muslim? I'm just curious.
No.
Because
he's got
one of those guys that wears the heavy beard.
Okay.
He was on video, man. He did have a heavy beard on the video. I'll give him that.
Yeah, I was gonna ask: is he he's a Muslim or a Black Israelite?
He walks. He walks around at 170.
Yeah, man. He only has to cut. He cut 16 pounds.
Fuck, that's insane.
He said that. Boxing style. Nobody. Go ahead. Yeah, let me talk.
Let him finish, man.
Let me talk, man. Nobody cares about your opinion. But yeah, Julian Williams announced basically that his next fight is gonna be December. I put it out on Twitter, so that's a bit exclusive news. Yeah, he's a good guy, man. I hope he does well.
Wasn't he supposed to fight Lara next?
No. That was rumored, but it was never close to happening.
All right.
Did you guys hear Dante's Boxing Nation? What he said about the Jacobs and Derevianchenko?
I listen to impartial boxing channels. So
yeah, I mean, yeah, but it's hilarious. I have to watch some comedy every now and then, you know. So
I've been listening to Low Places channel recently, but
Low Places is a comedian to me too, man. He's hilarious.
Well, don't tell me that.
He's usually like listening to X talking, man. It's like,
let's talk about the fights, man. None of these other shit channels.
Yeah, but you know what he said though. Like, I'm just gonna say this one thing about him, and that's it. He said, "This is how Triple G should have fought against Daniel Jacobs." I was like, "What the fuck?" So you wanted Triple G to lose? Huh? That's what you just said pretty much. This is how you should have fought. Derevyanchenko missed so many motherfucking shots, bro. He got hit with some devastating shots. I'm surprised. He has a chin. We could go ahead and say this right now. Derevyanchenko got a chin on him.
Oh yeah,
he got
That's the only fight this weekend I haven't watched yet. I watched the Prograis Flannagan fight instead last night.
Oh, you missed it, bro. That was a hell of a fight. It was great. It was awesome to watch. And,
I never miss Prograis fights. I always watch Prograis fight.
Prograis good though, yeah. I mean, I saw bits and pieces of Prograis.
That fight was fucking shit. That Flannagan fight. Exactly.
That's because Flanagan's not that good, man. That's why.
I said that Flanagan's fucking pony. Flanagan is pony.
I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what though.
That's all he's good for. He's durable, but he's got nothing else, man.
Yeah, but he never ever changes up the pace. He's always he gets stuck in a gear and that's it. Doesn't try anything new. Just throw straight punches. That's all he does. Got a bit of footwork. He'll so predictable. Never try anything new. Never step up the gear.
He has a basic stance, hands up. You know, he's well protected, and he also throws a lot of punches. And he uses a tool from the system.
His style was tailor-made.
He doesn't throw a lot of punches though. The guy he doesn't throw a lot of punches.
Exactly. No, that's what I'm saying.
His style was tailor-made, man. It was tailor-made for Prograis because Prograis is a guy. He's constantly moving his body, his head. He's always circling around. Flannagan was just walking around like a lost cause. I mean, he couldn't land anything. Prograis was literally he was throwing a jab. Prograis doesn't have like a concussive jab. I was saying this on the show. But he just uses a range for it. He was just throwing that jab out there, like flicking it out. And Flannagan was just falling for these traps, man. Yeah. Flannagan was he was getting drawn onto his left hands. Flannagan was so basic there last night.
He's so basic. And the fact is, right, when you're basic like that, you better wish you or hope that you got some fucking punching power. Because if you haven't, it's going to go horribly wrong for you when you step up to the top guys. And that's what happened with Flannagan. This is a guy that struggled with Derry Matthews, a man that Howard Davis blew out there in a couple of rounds. So this is the levels we're talking about. Terry Flannagan, like I said, 13% knockout ratio. That is not going to get you wins at the top.
But he beat Orlando Cruz, though.
Yeah, but granted that he stayed in the game. He didn't get knocked out.
No, he got knocked down.
I can show you 100 fight. I can show you 100 fight. Andre Berto went 12 with Floyd. What did it mean?
All right, hold on.
Exactly.
Let's get.
He went down. Prograis has his hands down the whole fight, almost the whole fight. He was just playing around with this guy.
Yeah, man, he was just toying with him, man. It wasn't Flannagan offered no threat at all.
I haven't seen the fight. I just saw highlights. If I see the fight, I'll let you guys know.
Okay.
All right, but this begs the question.
You're not really missing much.
No, don't watch the fight.
Now, hold on. This begs the question then, because listen, he made Flannagan look bad, but that's not. Flannagan, like Stu said, he doesn't have punching power, but he did show skills against BDA's favorite fighter Orlando Cruz. He did beat Monskin Fana and guys like Peter Petrov, who's pretty good. Wow. And he gave. But here's what I'm saying.
Tank Davis, bro.
But here's what I'm saying is my question is, what does this tell us about Prograis? Do you guys think he's being overrated, or do you think he's that good?
He's that good. I think he's that good.
I don't know yet. Beating Terry Flannagan doesn't mean anything to me. I think anybody at the top could beat Terry Flannagan because he's too basic.
It's the quarterfinals. Let's calm down. We'll see in the semifinals and finals.
Josh Taylor is gonna win this shit.
Yeah, we know you told us.
Prograis got a tough fight against Relic. I think Relic's actually arguably undefeated. I thought he beat Burns.
That's when we're going to know what Prograis is all about. Because
Relic's good, man. Good.
Relic's fighting next. Okay.
Yeah,
he's gonna beat him, man. Prograis is gonna beat Relic. The only guy who's gonna have a hard time with is Josh Taylor. Trust me. Final, Josh Taylor. I seen the brackets already.
Relic is going to come to fight. That's for sure. He's
probably a good fight, yeah.
And the thing with Relic, he'll let us know where Prograis' heart is as well, because Prograis has not really had anyone that's took him to deep waters yet. He's been allowed to fight in second gear, flopping out the jab and just fucking moving at his own pace and strolling around the ring like he did it with Flannagan. It was just, was he even in second gear? It was, do you know what I mean? But with Relic, he's going to come to fight and he's going to put the pressure on Prograis, and it's going to be a tough night for him. I mean, we'll see where he is after that one.
I don't think Relic can outbox Prograis, and I don't think he can knock him. He might be able to outwork him, but I think if he just jumps on him, if he tries to jump on Prograis is going to catch him with something big. Now, here's the thing. Here's what I like about Prograis. Very elusive, beautiful head movement, and he can punch. He's got hand speed. But here's the problem. When he starts attacking, you saw it against Indongo. He was coming forward, leaving himself open. He was lucky he didn't get caught. And here, when he would jump with some shots, not only would he jump with his hands down and get caught, but he would also stay there and admire his work after punching. And that's when sometimes he would get caught with a counter left hook or right hand.
He's Roy fucking Jones.
But that's the thing. These fighters, like, if you're gonna stay on the outside, okay, you can keep your hands down. But if you're attacking,
when you're inside, exactly close range, you can't
if you're attacking,
keep your hands low like
so
that.
That's what it begs the question. Let's say Kirill Relic can't give him a good fight because he doesn't really punch all that hard. Can Prograis get away with doing that against a strong guy like Baranchik or Taylor?
Well, it remains to be seen, right?
Right. Who do you think gets to the final, Taylor or Baranchik?
I think Baranchik's. I think Taylor's just a bit overall as a fight. I think Taylor's just a bit better than Baranchik. Technically, I think he is. I think Taylor's probably the cleaner fighter. You know, Baranchik's good. Like, you know, I liked what he did in there last night. I don't know. I mean, Yijit, I think we said it on the floor. I said it on Twitter. You know, Yijit was really unknown coming to this tournament. You know, kind of like the guy that nobody really heard of, or initial really a big boxing fan. I think Taylor technically, you know, rules a better fighter than Baranchik. So I favour Taylor in that fight. But Baranchik, he's a good fighter, man. He's tough. Yeah, he's grueling, you know what I mean? He's a good fighter, man. He can punch. But let's be real. I mean, a lot of these guys, we're going to see this division is wide open. This is why I kind of like this 140-pound tournament, because you've got all these fighters that are really good. You know what I mean? Like, and one of them is going to be proven to be the better of the lot in this tournament. So
yeah, this tournament's going to turn out to be quite nice. I mean, Baranchik he looks a problem, doesn't he, Baranchik? He looks like he's going to be a hard fight for anybody. Tough, strong, keeps coming forward. And I'll tell you what, he actually throws nice shots as well. Some of his combinations are quite nice. I mean, I just think he loads up too much, and he has to keep taking breathers. And, you know, I'd like him to just pace his punches, you know, change the pace of his punches now and again. Do you know what I mean? You don't, you know, you don't have to load it with every shot. I think he's quite a good boxer. And I think if he can do that, I think he's going to give Josh Taylor problems if Josh Taylor wins his fight next week. I mean, I think he's going to give Josh Taylor.
I think stylistically, Baranchik's a nightmare for anybody in that division. I just think his style is just horrible.
Yeah, and he looks tough as well, doesn't he? Looks tough, man.
Yeah.
Well, here's my thing. Because Baranchik, he looks extremely strong. First of all, he looks like a concentration camp soldier, like a guard from a concentration camp. This guy is Adolf Hitler's wet dream. But number two, he looks strong as hell. My question is, how does Josh Taylor fight him? Does he fight him like he did against Miguel Vasquez and tries to, you know, box him, I mean, on the inside and go to the body? Or does he try to box him from the outside?
I think he has to pick up. I think he has to work the body early. I think he has to really pick him off. I mean, I don't see Josh Taylor standing and trading, you know, planting his feet in too much. But I think he'll be looking to be the cleaner fighter in there, you know, landing the cleaner shots and just kind of pick him off and work the body and kind of wear Baranchik down. I think that's what the tactics would be for that fight.
Yeah. Josh Taylor can do both against that guy. He'll do both against him.
I think he'll have to box Baranchik. I think if he goes and tries to fight Baranchik like he did at Hara Davis, I think he'll come and stuff. I think he has to stick to his boxing, but obviously do what Cameron said. He's obviously got to go to the body and wear this guy down. When you've got a monster coming forward at you and he's swallowing headshots, you've got to start going to the body. I don't understand why fighters don't use the body as much as they should. Derevianchenko last night, another one, never went to the body when Jacobs looks like he was blowing at times. He should have started going to the body. But
he did, bro. What are you talking about? He did. He went to the body.
I think he should have gone he should have gone more for me.
Well, I mean, come on. He was blocking pretty good, bro. He was blocking pretty good, though.
Jacobs was rolling a lot of them headshots, blocking. There wasn't really much getting there clean. He should have gone to the body.
He did it as best as he could. He did it the best as he could. You can't say anything with Derevianchenko.
But we're not talking about that anyway. We're talking about 140. I don't know. I'm just using that. But yeah, but Baranchik, you're going to have to slow that guy down because he keeps coming, and he's a very good fighter. I do like this kid. I think his power's overrated. I think if you can take his shots and stay at range, he'd be at bot. It's a tough night for Josh Taylor, definitely. But
well, Iggy was taking his punches, but he too bad his eye got all swollen up. But he was still in the fight, basically. I mean,
yeah.
I put it on Twitter actually. I put that picture on Twitter actually. We got a lot of retweets, but that eye was horrible, man. That really was a bad injury. Yeah, was. I mean, God, I mean, you know, like Peter Fury last night. I don't want to go off topic, but Peter Fury said that Huey Fury's eye was hanging off. Well, what the fuck was Yijit's eye then? That guy, man, could not see a thing.
Hey, my fucking eye was hanging off just watching it.
Yeah, you wished
your
eyes
I didn't
were hanging
watch that
off.
fight yet, man. I watched 2 rounds and I turned it off.
Listen,
man, I swear though, is Mikey Garcia's fucking people watching this a podcast or what, man? As soon as I said that, Mikey Garcia, oh, I'm fighting Spence. Fuck the mandatory.
Well, I don't think anybody really cares what you say, boxing style, let alone Mikey Garcia.
I don't know, man. They've been watching us for sure. That's for sure. I call this ass a coward. Next thing you know, Mikey Garcia fighting Spence.
Yeah, boxing style made the fight.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess so.
He's got a lot of pull.
That's hilarious.
He's got a lot of pull. Boxing style has a lot of pull in the community. Speaking of that fight, a lot of people, some people are saying, well, fuck Errol Spence for fighting a smaller guy. Other people are saying, well,
anyway.
Okay, now wait a minute. First of all, BDA Boxing, the Boxing Debate Arena, accepts people from all walks of life. You know that, so we're not going to make fun of anybody.
That's right.
Yeah,
Second of all,
all walks of life. All walks
all
of life.
walks of life.
I mean, we
That's
accept
right.
boxing. We accept boxing style. So what does that tell you?
Oh, get the fuck out of here, bro.
All right, but yeah, speaking of that, let's talk about that real briefly, because I saw the news that supposedly Garcia and Spence are now in negotiation. First of all, the rumor now is, I saw it on Twitter from King Bucho. Apparently, people are saying that Spence is now an alcoholic.
Oh, for God's sake. Just, who said this rumor, man? Who started this rumor?
Apparently, it's from the LDBC themselves.
Well, do you know, I listened to an DLBC podcast for the first time the other day, right? And I don't know whose it was, but it had like 300 live views, and it was saying, you know, Crawford should come on our channel because we're the reason that he's champion. You know, we're supporting him. And I was like, this fucking shit, man. It's an absolute shit show. This LDBC shite, right? The worst podcast I've ever heard in my life, by far. I don't know what it was. It was called something, but it had like, what was it called? It had like 300 It was quite a big podcast.
It's not...
No, it was something. Oh man, what was it called? It had like 8 or 9 panelists on it, but.
Well, I don't know which one it could.
Boxing?
No,
Listen.
man, no, I'll find out. Don't worry. It was every Wednesday. The show is every Wednesday night.
Is it possible it might be true? Because they said that if you're drinking alcohol, it might increase your estrogen levels, and maybe that explains why Errol Spence got tits. Did that explain it? Milky tits.
You know, he looks like he put on some weight. Like he's kind of big for welterweight. Like when I saw him in the at the Barclay, shit, he looked like he was pushing 185, 190.
Whoa!
I wasn't on the last show. I don't know if you talk about, but am I the only one here that thinks Spence Garcia is a bit of a mismatch?
Then who?
Like, I think Spence. Well, I can only see one fight here, one winner here, and it's Errol Spence. Like, I can't see a case for Garcia winning.
I see it's a possibility to go 12 rounds. Because we're talking about a technical.
Yeah, but I'm talking about
Garcia.
How does Garcia win this fight? Somebody break it down.
I mean, if the politics is in his favor and he goes 12 rounds, yeah, he might win it.
I mean, this is a guy he's not a big puncher at 140. Let alone against a sort of guy like size of Spence, right? Like, how does he win?
He hits hard, bro. They know he hits hard.
Well, he's gonna fight differently, though.
Yeah, he's gonna fight differently. He's gonna fight like
hold, jab, and grab when. He's gonna jab, and then when Spence comes in, he's gonna grab him. He's gonna lose the decision.
It's gonna be similar to the Lipyanets fight where he's running around and catching him with the 1-2s. That's what I see.
Yeah, but Spence isn't Lipyanets. No, let's have it right.
I know, but because he's gonna throw some low blows. We know this. We know this shit. Well, that's what's gonna happen. And hopefully it doesn't stop like that.
Oh, I don't like this fight. I don't like this fight.
Man, he can hurt him with just about any punch.
No, I really. I looked
at it this way. Who's better, Kell Brooks or Mikey Garcia? And
Who's Kell Brooks?
I'm like, Mikey Garcia has better.
He has more. 147 Kell Brooks. Like Garcia.
No. Even in 147, I could see Mikey pulling off.
Yeah, I got on facts, man. I got on facts. I don't like this fight at all, man. I'm not a fan.
I like it, man. It's cool.
I want to see Garcia at lightweight fighting Lomachenko, not moving up to 147 fighting Errol Spence.
My question is, are they going to criticize Errol Spence Jr. for fighting a guy that's moving up to weight divisions? Because
I won't give.
Because hold on. Golovkin was criticized like crazy for fighting Kell Brooks. So
yeah, Spence doesn't get credit. Spence does not get credit from me for this win, because I'll be a hypocrite. Because I didn't give Golovkin credit for beating Brooks. So.
Yeah, but the thing is, you can't. I mean, when you're comparing Mikey Garcia to Kell Brook at 147, for one thing, Mikey Garcia has never fought at 147.
There you go.
And a lot of people say, you don't know. A lot of people say, oh, well, he could easily go up and fight at 147. He's been at 140. Listen, look at Devon Alexander at 140. He was actually a solid world champion at 140. Went up to 147, couldn't win a fight for Toffee. Dreadful. So that extra £7 means a lot. And when you're not a big guy at 140, you've gone at weight as it is. You've got no chance against a guy who's coming in the ring at 165. And
Stu, never say never.
Never.
Never say never, Stu. Never say never.
It's a cash grab. It's a cash grab.
What's up?
Mikey Garcia. Oh, it's gone.
You're cutting off, bro.
Yeah, you're cutting off stream, man.
All right, listen.
All I want to say is it's a cash grab, in my opinion.
It is a cash grab. Obviously, it's a cash grab, but I think he has a shot, though. It's not like he has absolutely no shot whatsoever.
He doesn't have no chance, but I'm telling you, it's a minuscule chance for me.
I'll give it like a 20 to 30% chance he can win it.
All right, hold on. Let's before we continue. Before we continue, we gotta introduce official boxing scorecards on the official. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. What's up, guys?
Not much, man. Just talking about Mikey Garcia versus Errol Spence. It looks like it might happen. What do you think? Mismatch?
Well, kinda is. I mean, Garcia has the technical advantages, but in reality, look at him. His body at 140, he was already pudgy against Bronner. So, what do you expect against Spence? I mean, he can give Spence some technical troubles, but and I know Mikey, he moves rather well, but his footwork is not amazing. So yeah, I would favor Spence as most of you guys, I guess.
All right. Let me tell you something. Just real quick. Sergey Lipinets, who's a strong 140-pounder, his plan was to walk Mikey Garcia down. And he was actually doing a good job of going to the body. He really pushed Mikey Garcia. Adrian Broner in the last 3 rounds was kind of walking Mikey Garcia down. So can you imagine what Errol Spence is going to do to him? I don't like this fight for Mikey Garcia at all. I recognize you want to say something.
You guys keep talking like that. Let's see if Mikey comes out all juiced up and shit. You see ass on Mikey for the first time.
Yeah.
And it's going to be like a whole different fucking ball game if he's all juiced up and shit.
I've heard that Mikey Garcia doesn't do any core training. That's what he has said, and his trainer, his brother, Robert Garcia. Mikey Garcia, no core training. So what if he starts doing that?
Exactly. Like we see a different fight.
Even if he does, I don't think so.
You don't know that, man. We don't know. I have high hopes for Mikey Garcia.
I think if he did core work,
hey, you guys should not be like making them all feel discouraged to fight this, because he's obviously hearing these comments and shit. So like,
oh yeah,
we gotta give him the fucking credit.
He's like listening to every word you say, boxing style.
Yeah, that's right. Every podcast.
Because it happened like a day or two after we said it, bro. Like it was like a day, maybe a day, I think.
You
like,
sound.
Hey, boxing style. What the hell's your prediction? Come on, go ahead. Spit it out.
With Mikey?
Yeah.
I honestly don't know. How it depends on how he shows up. Like if physically. Like I really don't know. If I'm gonna be real with you. I'm gonna be real with you. I'm gonna roll the dice and say Mikey wins by decision. I'll say that much. I'm gonna roll the dice with Mikey wins by decision. But there's politics involved in this fight, just like how there is in the Fury and the Wilder fight. So that's why I wouldn't make a bet on.
You don't want to commit. That's it. You don't want to commit.
Yeah, I'll just say this much. I'll pick Mikey just because I'm a fan of Mikey. For those reasons, I think he can make it happen.
I say Mikey Garcia. I'm gonna go. Mikey Garcia wins the best flowers at his funeral after that fight's over.
Oh.
What am I, a fucking retard, man? Am I a fucking retard?
That's what he's gonna be asking.
We talk like this, and Mikey's not gonna fight no more, bro. He's just not gonna do it. He's not gonna fight that fool.
It's a bizarre fight. It's a bizarre fight. Is this why, there's Sean Porter out there, there's Thurman, Danny Garcia. I would rather see, what's his name, Danny Garcia against Errol Spence than Errol Spence against Mikey Garcia. But it's true. Imagine Mikey Garcia shows up to the fight looking like Roy Jones when he was at heavyweight. Then now we're talking. If that happens.
I mean, we know what Roy was doing for that fight. Jesus Christ.
I mean, that's a possibility. So that's what I'm saying. Let's see how he shows up. Maybe he shows up the same. Maybe he shows up jacked up and shit.
You throw like a 1-2 and then you see Spence going down.
Yeah, it'd be ridiculous. But I'll tell you this much, though. Mikey Garcia has a better chin than Kell Brook. Yeah,
I don't know.
That massive head that he has, bro. It's like a fucking block. It's like Canelo's head and shit.
It's not like Kell Brook has doesn't have a good chin. It's just Kell Brook was broken.
Yeah,
he got
but
his face broken.
I'm not saying Kell Brook doesn't have a good chin. I think Kell Brook has a hell of a chin. I think Mikey has a better chin, though. It's just me. I'm just thinking like I see it.
It will be interesting to see the reaction of those that gave Triple G hell for breaking Kell Brook's face, and now let's say if Spence goes in there and fights Mikey Garcia and beats him by knockout.
It's not the chin that I worry about, Mikey. It's the body that I worry about, Mikey. I feel like the groin is gonna get a punishment. That's what I worry about. Everything else is LOK, you know. You know the shit about Floyd Mayweather kicking out Spence and shit? I know exactly what happened there. That motherfucker was throwing low blows at him all night. He's like, fuck this fool. Get this motherfucker out of the fucking... I guarantee you that's exactly what happened. Because Floyd is a hell of a boxer. Even at this point, he's still a better boxer than fucking Errol Spence is. Hands all right,
some comments from the chat. As he says, Mikey shows up fat. We know that. Mateus Lee says, Mikey Garcia loses. Nino Gaji says, Mikey will fight Richard Comey. Watch.
Well, listen. This fight is an interesting fight. I do think that Errol Spence can be outboxed a little bit. You know, Mikey Garcia has that style where his jabs are straight. He punches very well, very good timing. But can he hold up to Spence's punishment? Because Spence is a monster in there. Now, here's the other thing. You guys were talking about Mikey Garcia not doing any core training. Technically, when you're punching the bag, isn't that considered core training because you're turning your body, you're using your abs and everything? Or what do you define as core training?
I don't know.
You got to do more than that.
You do, but it's some kind of core training. It's not all out core training. I think I prefer punching than fucking doing what you call it. You prefer punching
than fucking?
Sit-ups.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I prefer punching for long hours. That's what the fucking Charlo brothers do.
Yeah.
Plus,
listen.
Plus on the juice and shit.
I want to move on a little bit from this real quick because it's a bit of a we don't even know if it's gonna happen. And we didn't talk about this when you guys were here. Did you all see that video of Eddie Hearn getting his shorts pulled down?
Yes.
Yeah,
I know you. You watched it, recognize?
Si, senor.
Now is
that's
that
when Matrix came out of the closet?
Well, we all heard when you came out of the closet.
Never, bro. I stayed in that bitch.
Stewart was so pissed off. He told you to mute the fucking mic. You took the closet down.
I don't even have a closet, bro.
Whatever that was.
And by the way, Bucho was the one that told me that. Oh, did you see the video where Lomachenko pulls Eddie Hearn's pants down? I'm like, wait a minute. When did Lomachenko? It wasn't Lomachenko. I tell you, Bucho, he just comes up with all this fake news. Let me just put Stu, did you see this video?
Yeah, it was Tommy Cole that did it, wasn't it?
I mean, look at that. First of all, he's not wearing any underwear, man. What the fuck is that up with that?
He's a freak.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we talked about that. We talked about that a little bit about how
we know that this is a guy that if he let's say for whatever reason he's traveling, he didn't pack enough underwears, he can just go buy a pack real quick if he wanted to.
Yeah,
the fact that he chose not to wear any, he's a freak.
Hey, it's for the testicles, bro.
But listen, if you're wearing shorts and you raise your leg, if you're wearing shorts and you raise your leg, you're gonna be showing your package to everybody. Now, unless you're Mr. BDA,
not just that, man. Fucking all your private parts, man, rubbing against your fucking new jeans and shit.
Exactly.
You gotta make that shit dangle, bro. You gotta let that shit free. You know.
Listen, man. I don't know about you guys, but like wearing fucking shorts and walking outside with no fucking underwears, I don't feel right. That just doesn't. I don't know.
Wait a minute. You guys never went commando? You guys never went commando?
Never
went commando?
Yeah, I've done it when I was like going to some chick's house. Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, sometimes maybe he was gonna fuck somebody afterwards. You never know.
I like
plans.
stews.
Hey guys, I have a friend of mine. I'm doing some business with him. He's like an older guy, 40, 50 years old, and he's into swinger lifestyle or whatever.
He always goes out commando.
Yeah, he goes commando, I bet.
Yeah, he does.
The crazy thing is with his ex-wife, everybody knew, even their children, that they're into the lifestyle. So they're going every summer to some rich place at the south of France where there's a lot of swingers from all over the world, and so he kept on asking me to come with him. I was like, no thanks. And he was telling me, in fact, the son of his ex-wife was a very shy guy when he was younger, and so he brought him the horse to fuck, and then the guy got into that lifestyle, and that he told them, he was complaining to the young guy, see, I hate the pants, I don't know. And so he told him, well, you know what, everybody is walking naked there, so even here in Paris, he's not wearing any underwear.
I've been invited to one of those things, I just never went.
Yes, you did. Stop lying.
Yeah,
I'm
you
not
did.
lying, bro. I'm telling the truth. I've never went, bro.
Stop lying.
He said some fucking weird stories. I'm like, my ass ain't going over there. No, fuck that.
Boxing style.
Well, yeah, like, hey, you can make a lot. Yeah.
You turned up with just a bow tie on. Don't fucking lie.
Yeah. A bow tie.
Hey, I'm a playboy, bro. I'm a playboy.
I'll show up with no boots, with no clothes.
I was just going
boots and a cigar and a fucking cigar.
Nah, I just come out naked and shit with a bow tie. I got a bow tie on with a fucking bunny ears and shit. It's Halloween, bro.
Hey, recognize. I bet he was saying that all the time. I bet he was saying that.
Aren't you, to travel to France, to sit there and watch some fucking French dude bang your wife, man. Just sit there.
That's pretty fucking disgusting, bro.
You know you're a real man, right? Like, you're a real fucking class act. When you're like, hey, honey, let me take you somewhere. I want to see you get throat fucked by some other guy today.
Yeah.
Well, that was what's his name?
It's crazy that there's even because there's really like rich people from all over the world coming to the south of France, and he was telling to me, come on man, you can make a lot of money, because apparently there's like women taking guys for free and paying them, and I was like, no thanks, man. Whatever floats your boat, but. Yeah.
There's this chick near us, right? And she's a right fucking dirtbag. You want to see the state of her? And she's married and that lot. And she actually speaks to guys online and tells them she'll come round, right? But there's one condition. She'll come round and fuck you or do whatever you want, but she's got to take video evidence for her husband to get off on. So my mate actually fucking had her round, didn't it? They said next minute she's sitting there taking the trousers off, next minute the fucking camera's out. He goes, what the fuck you doing? She goes, just a bit of evidence for the husband. Fuck's sitting there getting cameraed.
My goodness gracious.
Is there like lighting and shit there?
Well, yeah, obviously she had the flash on, and he's just sitting there. He said, as long as you cut me head out, you know. But
she's cuckolding me.
No way. What sick guy? What sort of sick guy goes? Oh, excuse me. How was tonight? And yeah, it was good night. Can I watch the blowjob? I want to see it now, please.
Some people,
hey, honey.
I've heard.
Can you spread your ass cheeks for this nice job? Nothing makes me feel more of a man than watching some man look at your ass crack and your
oh man,
your beautiful flower just opening up.
She comes back, gets in a bed in the morning, mate's she's all driven, it's all on the bed sheets. Fuck's sake, what sort of people are these?
Oh my god.
Don't be afraid.
At all.
Just
He
an
was even
asshole.
telling me the things like, "Hey, you know, if I ever take you there, you must know that you should make no problems, no physical how do you say it? Not fighting, whatever happens." Yeah, it happened to him a couple of times that he went to some swimming pool, and there are like people walking around you, grabbing your ass, grabbing your wife's ass. So, I mean, he asked me like, what would you do if a guy came to you and grabbed your ass? I was like, I would turn around and kick the shit out of him. And he was like, no man, you should not do that. You just have to politely excuse yourself. And go
Yeah, what's the matter with you?
Myself. No,
But
after I back kick him.
After you whoop his ass, you file for sexual harassment. That's what you do.
Then I'll
any proud man, any proud man though, just the thought of some man fucking doing your missus is enough to make you fucking angry, and it gets you angry just thinking about it, especially when you're friends or something. It would, wouldn't it? Just all of us now. Just picture some dude boning your wife. You're getting angry,
dude. You're
not getting aroused, are you? You're not getting aroused.
I grab the camera and go like, "Oh, honey, you look great."
Listen,
by the way,
we've all been in situations where we've had girls in our lives that may have been unfaithful to us, right? But it's one thing like thinking about it. Well, I said BDA because you're BDA.
That's right.
That doesn't happen to you. But average guys like myself, once in a while you date enough girls, you're gonna get one of them is gonna cheat on you. And but it's one thing somebody telling you. It's another thing like actually fucking seeing it.
Absolutely.
I can imagine BDA just going in there and having a blast.
She's cuckolded me before. She's had me eat her out after she's done fucking another guy.
That's not that's disgusting, man.
Hey,
get down on your.
I got invited to one of those swing clubs, right?
Mm-hmm.
I was dating a wild chick back then.
Hold on. Was this in New York?
Oh, of course, you know that.
Was it called the Vault?
Oh shit! How do you know about that? But it wasn't that one.
What's going on over here?
I just wanted to know if it was the famous.
There is a Vault. It's on. It's in Manhattan. Well, I don't know if it still exists.
I don't think it exists. I don't think it exists anymore.
How do you know about it? It was like on 14th Street in Manhattan.
I used to be in the industry. I thought I used to be in the industry back in the 90s. I went there with my good friend, and attorney Richard Shapiro. But anyway, I don't think I should mention his name. Yeah. But sorry. Keep going. What was your story?
Hey, BDA, were you the guy that grabbed my ass? Like,
yeah. Why did you hit me? Why the fuck did you punch me in the face? By the way.
Get down on your knees so Sabrina can see your asshole.
All right. So sorry. Recognize. What were you saying?
All right. So then, so this girl that she was a loose one, and I was enjoying my time with her. So she would always come up with these crazy things. She was like, "Oh, I got to go to a swing club that she was in the industry, if you get what I'm saying." So she was like, "I want to go to this swing club, and it's in Queens, and would you come with me?" So I was like, "Yeah, fuck it, why not?" Right? Like, I heard I never been to one at this particular time, so I was like, "Let me just go see what the fuck what this is all about." I get over there, there was like little areas where people can mess around and fuck around. nothing crazy. I didn't see anything crazy.
Right.
Until this fucking this guy, he's like an older man, and he's with this like half black, half Asian girl. She was kind of cute and everything, but she was like, some guy was like fucking dry humping her. He was just dry humping her. Comes up to me, the guy, right? This is when it got creepy. And I was like, oh, man, hell no. He comes up to me and he says, "Hey, I always wanted to see a Latino fuck my wife."
Wait a minute.
That sounded too creepy. I was like, what?
That's what creeped you out?
And then what happened?
Yeah, and then what
I was like, no, thank you.
Hey,
come
recognize.
I'll tell you what happened. Recognise when I got butchered.
Yeah, I showed up, man.
I said, BDA, like, handle this.
Cowboy boots and a sombrero.
Butcher turned up with his Mexican hat on.
I was gonna say, recognize. Did you hear 78? He was saying that he was telling a story that he was somewhere in a store or something, and it was like a white couple came up to him and go like, "Hey, you wanna fuck my wife?" That's what 78 said.
Wait, who said this?
Yeah, you even said that as well. I remember, man. You heard that from 78. He was like, "Oh yeah, so this white couple comes to me and goes like, hey, you wanna fuck my wife?"
It wouldn't surprise me, man. It would not surprise me.
I think that's his fantasy. That's what I think.
Yeah, that's another possibility.
Some of those guys are really crazy. I mean, from that moment on, I kept just strictly business with that guy. But before that, I met their friends who are also in the lifestyle. It was the New Year's Eve, so they were there. And after that, a couple of months later, he told me, "You remember that couple you met at our place?" I said, like, "Yeah." Well, you see, the girl divorced the guy, took the custody of the children, and moved on with another couple. So yeah, man. So like she's
letting your wife fucking somebody else goes terribly wrong.
She's working for them. She sleeps in their bed, like they have trios, and her children are sleeping in the other room, and
that's creepy, man. Yeah, that's.
I mean, I respect all sexualities and everything. I'm like,
cut that crap.
That's a glorious. That's a glorious lifestyle right there. Glorious.
So hold on. Here's the thing. Here's
things
the thing.
are really fucked up.
You gotta keep in mind that over there in France, they're way more open about that stuff than here. But that being said, I remember I was watching it must have been 10 years ago, an episode of Dr. Phil where they were talking about swingers. And there was a swinger couple. It was a black. Well, they weren't really black, but like Andrew Ward type black. And they're talking about how they swing and how they taught their kids about it. Like that's what mommy and daddy do. They go with other mommies and daddies and they fuck. And then Dr. Phil was like, "Well, they're saying right." And the whole fucking crowd, the whole crowd in there, the audience, they're all being judgmental. You can tell they're on some freaky shit themselves, but they have to, in front of the cameras, they have to pretend that they're not into it. And Dr. Phil, this is the guy who apparently he doesn't have a license to be to practice psychology or to have his own practice because of sexual indecency, I think. Or I think it was some sort of like what's it called? Well, he didn't behave properly according to the standards, and apparently it was sexual. So this fucking bald guy with a mustache, which stinks like pussy, he's looking at this couple and he's trying to be all self-righteous. Listen, you want to swing, go ahead, but don't come out here and thinking that it might ruin a relationship. Because here's the other thing, maybe you guys have seen that as well in the news. There's all these new 22-year-old, 23-year-old girls that go out with a bunch of less than manly men. And then they go, "Listen, honey, let's be swingers." But it's not really swingers. She fucks whoever she wants.
Yeah.
And he doesn't fuck. So that's not technically swinging. That's being cocked.
Here in France, for example, I noticed that it became quite popular, and it started being promoted by the medias just recently. I was reading some websites, and they're like a girl who's a psychologist saying the things like, well, yeah, being into that lifestyle is kind of not bad. It can be good for a couple. I mean, whatever.
Nah, that doesn't work, man.
To me, there's nothing more like damaging to your relationship of having, at least for me. I mean, hey, for everybody else is different, I guess. There's nothing more damaging than actually seeing my woman getting piped down by somebody else. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not
hey, the only time I swing is in the playground, bro.
That's
on the
right.
merry-go-round. That's when
with your boyfriend.
With your-
right? I know. I heard about that.
They're on the what's it called? You know that thing that the what?
Ex has divorced him. He's with me now.
Oh, come on. No, but listen. This whole thing doesn't work, man. When you're with a girl, and you know that's what they say. Some guys go, "Well, it's because I'm so confident that I can let my girlfriend fuck other guys." Nah, she's cocking you, man. She's cocking you. You're a cuck. And next step,
Yeah, it's you gotta be like, there's gotta be some cuck in you for you to like, yeah, I'm cool with my. I'm talking about the woman that the girl that you walk around and you want everybody to know that's your woman. Like
right?
Some skeezer that I only plan to have a one night stand with. I could care less who she fucks, right?
Yeah, right.
Like I don't
My
care
goodness.
about her, but the woman that just has my kid and she kisses my children at night, to go to
Right.
that she's blowing some other guy. Fuck out of here. Come on.
That's a good point.
Yeah, the thing is, it might sound a good idea to some guys that are a bit pervy, isn't it? Even if your wife comes up with the idea, you think, let's see some different pussy. While you're doing that, and you're looking over, and some guy's fucking piping your missus, then things change a little bit. You're never gonna look at it the same when you come home. And can you imagine it even worse? You look over, fucking some guy's piping your missus, going, "Hello, Akbar."
What the fuck? We're gonna get a video on this one. We're gonna get a video.
Oh yeah, we're gonna get a video. So, these guys, they hate Muslims.
I tell you this much. He blew that pussy up.
They allow racism on the BDA podcast.
I don't do that.
Stuart Little said Allah Akbar. Stuart Little said it.
And by the way,
That's not right. That's not
here's the
right.
thing about. Here's this thing also about the swingers is that, first of all, what's worse? What's worse? When you watch another guy banging your wife, or when you're with another guy and your wife wants to watch, and you're like, "No, honey, you got to step outside the room while I'm doing this." Which one's worse?
Oh, wait a second. First of all, listen,
I'm kidding, man.
Listen, BDA.
Yeah.
There is no good situation in that situation, right? Once my wife, once my woman is like entertaining the idea of her fucking somebody else, and then she tells me, "Oh, but I would like you to leave," right?
Right.
What is that telling me? That she's planning to come. I'm
Yeah,
planning
exactly.
to come. Something you don't.
Nah. What that means is your dick is too small. That's what that means.
Well, that could be
Oh,
that too. That could be that. It could be like, "Hey, honey, listen. I already tested this out. This is a lot bigger than what you're working with. There's a different dimension here. I don't want to offend your feelings."
and by the way, just changing subjects real quick. We do have to go soon, unfortunately. But I wanted to bring up something that I saw. I don't know if you guys saw real quick. I'm not a huge fan of Eli Sekbak. I think he plays sides. He tends to play.
Oh, this is beautiful. Continue.
He tends to take sides. He kisses up to certain fighters in order to get access, and then once he gets that access, he starts to shit on that boxer's enemy. So he did it with Mayweather. He did it, but before he used to be with Pacquiao, and then he got in trouble with Freddie Roach. So he went over to Mayweather. Mayweather called him out on his bullshit, and then he started. Then they were all good once Eli Sekbak started kissing his ass, and so that made him anti-McGregor. You know the deal. So anyway, this guy Sekbak, he's kissing Deontay Wilder's ass, and as a result, he was cheating on Tyson Fury. So Eli Sekbak goes to the open workout in LA where Tyson Fury is working out, and Tyson Fury says, "Sorry, I'm not gonna answer your questions. You can leave." What do you guys think? I mean, can you play it both ways and try to say, "Oh, I'm a journalist," but then when you go on Twitter, you shit on the guy, and then you try to play the journalist?
No, that's
sleazy piece of shit.
sleazy. Yeah, that's sleazy.
You know what's funny though? Did you guys hear Fury's media workout music?
No,
what was it?
It's hilarious. Oh man, he had "What's New, Pussycat"
What?
while he was fucking hitting the pads, bro.
Well, that's from Tom
"What's New,
Jones, right?
Pussycat?" Whoa.
Well, that's from
a while. Fury's crazy, man. I'm convinced of it.
There's other few music that he put up there. It was hilarious.
Hold on. Stu, go ahead.
Ellie's setback's a real slithering rodent, though, isn't he? I mean, he's a real slime ball. He is. Well, he's one. You know when people give. I don't like to get into politics. You know when people give the Jews stick for being fucking treacherous. He's in that category. He's one of the people we're talking about. He would sell out his own people. Like I said before, his granddad probably sold out his own people to the Nazis.
Yeah.
Isn't his grandfather?
That's the sort of setback. He's a right little rodent, and he calls all these fighters names. And then he fucking licks their ass when he's in front of them, and I just don't like that.
But that's what I'm saying.
And he's talking about Tyson Fury, helping him with his numbers and all that lot. And thanks a lot for this, Tyson. I should think he needs it really. When you look at his channel, the man's got 330,000 subscribers, and he's getting 330 views on his videos. So I
get that on some videos, and I got
this guy is
less
suffering.
Than 400.
The guy's suffering. He's been around since time began. That's why his numbers are big. But let's be real. Anyone that really has any sort of boxing knowledge, and with the choices we have now on the internet, any setbacks the last channel that you're going on. You know he's a little fucking rodent. He doesn't know shit all about boxing.
He's annoying.
He's an annoying little fuck. He's a hater. He's a hater as well. He hates on fighters.
I'm over here at the Tyson Fury fight. And I'm partying.
I told what's his name? The guy that owns Ten Goose. I forgot his name.
Dan Goosen.
I told him I hate. Yeah, I hate.
I mean Joe Goosen. Joe Goosen.
I told him he's annoying as fuck right to his face. It's like, oh, he's my buddy and shit. I'm like, I know, but I can't stand that one.
Yeah, I know he's your buddy, but fuck him. right? It's like, you know when you're trying to be cordial with somebody because you kind of like him, but they're trying to stick up for that dude that you really don't like. And you just lose it. You're like, yeah, listen, I understand he's cool with you, but fuck him, okay?
Right.
It's the same shit, bro.
Tell him to go fuck himself. All right, buddy, just calm down. No, you calm down. Tell him to calm down.
But that was... that's exactly what I was... Listen, the thing about Eli Sagbak is, and that's what I was trying to say in the beginning, was his response to getting kicked out of the gym was that, oh, Tyson Fury hates me because I picked Deontay Wilder to beat him. But that's... And then he says, like, oh, you can't kick out... He said something along the lines of that it's just journalism. But see, that's where he's being disingenuous because, like I said, you can't badmouth a fighter and lick another fighter's asshole. And then when you go up there and they kick you out, and you go, oh, come on, I'm a journalist. No, if you're a journalist, you don't pick sides. And if you do pick sides...
BDA, sort of cut you short. Cameron can do that.
Oh, man.
My God. And he's not even here to defend himself.
You know, Cameron's not even here, so you're a bastard.
Yeah, but
really quick.
Yeah.
Something I noticed about that video, okay? This is what makes Elliot's setback a real fucking sleazeball, in my opinion. And I haven't used that word in a long time because it's so old, but it's fitting for him. Right. When he said, "Are you Elliot Setback?" Right before he kicked him out, he says, "No, it's not me."
No, really?
Oh yeah, he did say that. I caught that shit. I caught that shit.
You gotta listen to it real
good.
I'm like, okay, so you know you're a piece of shit to him, right? That's why you would say, "No, it's not me," right? If you did nothing wrong, you would say, "Yeah, I'm Elliot Setback. Well, how you doing?" You know.
And so he tried to deflect then in the beginning.
He said, I go to it. I got it. I retweeted it from somebody on Twitter. I just got on Twitter, so anybody follow me on Twitter, all right?
That's right.
That's right. And I might have gotten it from your channel. I don't know what channel I got it from, but I retweeted. I listened to it a few times, and Tyson Fury says, "Are you Elliot Setback?" And he's like, "No, I'm not Elliot Setback." I'm like, okay. You're mad that he kicked you out, but why did you say no before he kicked you out?
Because he knew, right?
Because you knew you talked shit about him. It's like that little faggot you didn't know nothing about him, and you're like hearing from your friends, oh, you know that kid Elliot Setback? He be talking a lot of shit about you. And then somebody says, oh, Elliot Setback, guess what? That's him. And you're like, wait a second, are you Elliot Setback? And you haven't even said anything to him yet. and he denies it. Why is he denying
Right.
Because he's afraid what's going to happen.
Some guys don't give a shit, though. Like Lomachenko, he caught him saying shit behind his back. He's like, yeah, but they don't treat him like, they treat him like a fucking, inside somebody from the outside trying to get some information from them.
Yeah, like a mentally challenged merchant. That's what they treat him like.
Pretty much.
Like a what?
Merchant.
What did you say?
That's all I say.
A merchant. Oh my god, we're gonna get shut down, man. But what's the matter with you?
I just said merchant. I mean, come on.
The thing is, I remember when he followed
I
remember when he followed Gervonta Davis around the UK when Gervonta Davis came to fight Walsh. I mean, he was following Davis everywhere. He was in the hotel with him, and you could tell Gervonta Davis just wanted this little prick to just fuck right off and get away from him. He was annoying the whole team. You could see there was times when they were just trying to walk away and leave him. When he'd stop and talk to someone, they'd fucking dash off somewhere into a shop to try and get away from him, and he'd find them with his camera. Where did you go, boys? I mean, that'd annoy me. Can you imagine having a setback around you on camera? No wonder he didn't look happy, Gervonta Davis. I mean. The guy's annoying. No one wants him around in the camp. I think Mikey's the only one that can tolerate him. The Garcia camp. Do you know what I mean? They're about the only ones that tolerate him.
Elliot Setback is the kind of annoying fuck that, it could be a boxer, any boxer. He's talking to a nice looking girl. Hey, so what are you doing, buddy? Are you trying to score?
That shit all the time, bro.
It's like, yo, dude, listen. Look, I don't want to be annoying. Let's say you like him, right? I like them, and I'm a boxer. Listen, dude, I don't want to be annoying, but fuck off. I'm talking to somebody right now. You're coming in, you're right in my face. Hey, buddy, what are you doing?
Hey, is this the girl you're gonna fuck up the ass? Like, thanks. Thanks for cock
Eddie Setback is one of those guys. Eddie Setback is one of those guys when you watch him certain porns. I don't watch those type of porns, but I'm just saying certain porns when the guy's out there just watching the other guy fuck the shit out of the other.
Oh, come on. Have you been watching?
I think it actually got to him though, because he did about 4 videos about it. About Tyson
really?
Kicking him out. It actually got to him. But the thing is, it's not just his press conference. He's not going to be allowed in any of them now. And I'm enjoying it. I'm glad someone stood up to that little fucking snake. You can't go around calling people druggies and bums, mate, when you're in the business of reporting and you're going to need an interview of these guys. Fine, you can say Deontay Wilder's going to win the fight.
Exactly.
I mean, you could say that. That's cool, but just go and say Tyson Fury's a bum and a loser and that lot, and he's a drug addict, and then sit there and lick his ass expecting to get an interview off him. Nah, damn right, don't work like that in the real world.
Somebody needs to ask him. Look, somebody really needs to ask him if Tyson Fury, what he did to you, was such a scumbag move. Then why did you deny that it was you at first?
Yeah, exactly.
Before
he's a hypocritical. Because he's a hypocritical bitch.
Right,
he's a hypocritical bitch, bro.
So much shit about him that you knew that there was when he said I'm picturing Elliot Setback looking at him and saying, "Oh shit!" Like he knows who I am. Like, wait a second, you're Elliot Setback? Yeah. Fuck off. Like, get out.
Exactly.
Of here. No, it's not me. It's not me. It's not me. No.
But that's what I'm saying is this guy, look, you want to be a journalist, be a journalist. You can't be both. You can't have your cake and eat it too. And that's what he does. He sucks up to these fighters. And like Stu says, he gets access to their hotel rooms or their motel rooms or whatever the fuck they are. And he's just filming them and he ambushes them with a camera in their faces. Most of these guys can't tell the guy just fuck off because, most of these guys are cool. But you can't have it both ways. And that's what he does. So I used to watch his videos, especially the best was when he was around Mikey Garcia, Brandon Rios, and when Antonio Margarito was there. That's where the whole when they were making fun of
he just wants to do some POV porn with Mikey Garcia. That's what it is.
so POV porn. All right. You can tell
real,
boxing.
Bro.
You can tell boxing style is into that type of shit. Like he knows all the genres of porn.
Oh man, I'm in the industry. Yeah, that's right. I'm in the industry.
POV, DP, the Dirty Sanchez, all that type of shit.
He's probably like the buffer.
The dirty
guy too, like.
He's a what?
You know the buffer?
I
said
didn't hear
he's
what
like
you
the
said.
buffer guy,
I don't even want to know. I don't want to know. I don't want to know.
You don't know
Listen,
what a buffer is, right?
a buffer.
Like last year.
I know what a buffer is, just by the name buffer.
You know what it is, right? You know what it is. I never knew what it was until last year. It's like
buffer meaning like, okay, so let's say if you're a porn star, you're a guy, There's a girl in there like helping you get it up.
No,
a
it's a guy.
fluffer.
It doesn't really matter. It's a guy or a girl. It don't fucking matter, bro. It could be either
Wait a
or.
minute. You're talking about a fluffer.
Yeah, whatever it is.
I heard a buffer. I heard a buffer.
I think a buffer's good.
Leave your sexual fantasies to another time. Yeah.
Yeah. Leave it off the podcast.
Oh, sorry. Here's another thing about Eli Sackback that I wanted to bring up. Again, him being biased. Because he sucks up, again, like we said, he sucks up to fighters in order to get access. You can watch his very first boxing video, unless he took it down, where he's saying that Dimitri Salita deserves to have a shot at either Mayweather or Pacquiao. And he says, this guy's great, this guy's good, he deserves a shot. So come on, Manny, come on, Floyd, give this guy a shot. And then what happened? Less than a year later, Amir Khan blows this guy out.
His ass. I bet you that hurt his feelings in many ways.
Oh, yeah, maybe. Maybe that explains it. So that's what I'm saying. The guy's biased, man.
You know what I'm talking about.
Dude, he's so happy that Canelo won that he put the WBC belt on his fucking profile pic. It's ridiculous.
He's biased. That's what I'm saying. At least come out and say, listen, I'm not a journalist. I'm just a guy with a camera that has favorites, and I like to provide coverage and ask people questions, but I'm not a journalist. That's it. But when he starts saying like, oh, I'm a journalist, I'm a professional, you're not a professional because you're picking sides. And come on, Dimitri Salita, pound for pound, come on. I mean, I'm sorry.
Well, I'm trying to think what did Dimitri Salita deserve to like warrant a shot for pound or against the two kings at that time, pound for pound wise, Pacquiao and Mayweather.
Well,
he didn't do anything.
No, but yeah, he did. He was born in the right. How shall I say, the right tribe?
Well, the
if
right
you know
tribe,
what I mean. Yeah.
And that's and they happen to share the same tribe, and he was just looking out for a fellow tribe member.
Exactly. I don't know. Listen, people, you can assume,
but just be biased. Just say I'm biased. Look, I'm a little biased.
Yeah, exactly. A little biased, a little bit. But
hey, I thought you guys were gonna talk about boxing over here.
And what are we talking about? Well, that's part of boxing. I just want.
I thought you guys were going to talk about Derevianchenko and Jacobs. Not once.
Hey,
about it.
What was that intersexual and Tifa boxing championship match before the main event? Fuck that. At least tell me the blonde girl won.
Was that an Antifa member?
It sure looked like.
Who was it that we showed that picture on the last episode? It was, what's her name? Some blonde girl against a lesbian who had a beard on, and it was just, we saw the photos of the face-off. It was like I told people, it looked like it was boxing in 20. That's what boxing is gonna look like in 2030. If the SJWs get their way, that's what boxing is gonna look like. It was bizarre. I'm trying to look for the foot.
Hey, Palamanaji lost yesterday.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. It's boxing style in the last show. He said that the woman, that Latina woman that fought the tall blonde girl, she looked like like Paulie Malignaggi. But I can't find the photographs, man. I can't find the shit. Hold on, you guys talk. I'm trying to look for the photos.
Yeah. Hey, you know, Paulie Malignaggi looks like those kind of. He's one of those Italians that Italians don't like. You know, because he kind of Italians can be real racist towards each other. So you know he fits the type that they don't like.
Paulie looks like the rat from
Jersey Shore.
Sopranos or something. You can go down there.
He looks like the guy that snitched on everybody on The Sopranos, right?
Pretty much. That's what I was gonna say.
I can give you Tony. I can give you Tony.
That's what I was gonna say, bro.
Oh man,
he looks just like him.
Tony's got no balls.
I can see Tony Soprano, like the character, because he's a big fucking dude, right? Like in a scene, just beating the shit out of Paulie Malignaggi. You fucking rat! You rat! I always knew it. Your family were a bunch of rats.
I'll tell you what. Wouldn't it be nice? Wouldn't it be nice to watch Joe Pesci put Ranaj's head in a vice and pop his eye out?
Oh man, that would be.
Oh come on, guys! I don't.
I'll pay for that.
Just
I like
Goodfellas
Paulie.
style. Goodfellas style. Was it Casino?
I never really paid for
Casino,
pay-per-view, but I'll pay for that shit.
Now come on, I like Paulie. I like Paulie. I'm not gonna let you guys talk bad about Paulie the way you're doing now. And by the way, Steven Schneider, shout out to Steven. He made a generous contribution, and he says, "Anyone else notice that Paulie has been?" Oh, there we go. A little bit of a delay. Thank you, Steven Schneider. Steven Schneider keeps food on my table. Let me tell you something. Without him, I wouldn't be eating, man.
Yeah, I mean, thank you, Steven Schneider. That's how I work in the BDA cafeteria. that's how I was able to get a job there. Thanks to you.
All right, listen. I know you recognize mops the floors. I clean the bathrooms. That's how it works. But listen, why do I get the short end of the stick? Recognize? I got to deal with shit and piss all over the floor.
Well, you're the one that said that I keep the floor shiny. I make it shiny. You can see your reflection. That's what you said.
Didn't we used to call you spit shine? Recognize?
Well, you've been away for a long time, so
BDA is like fucking Eddie Hearn with his slave ranch.
My slave ranch. I wear underwear. Thank you very much. Can you imagine not wearing underwear? You know, when you wipe, you can't. If you're only using toilet paper, you're not 100% clean down there. So that means you got shit particles all over your pants.
That's what I was thinking. I was thinking to myself, look, right? You're outside all day. You got no fucking underwears on. I'm sure you take. Okay, maybe you didn't take a dump, but you took a piss.
Exactly.
Right. So when you shake it off. You shake it off a little bit, a little bit. You're like, all right, I think I got most of it out. And then you put it back in and a little bit drips.
Just a little bit.
Now you got it.
Just a little bit, yeah.
Down your legs.
Oh, man.
Hey, Eddie Hearn always got another suit ready.
Yeah, that's true. He only wears...
Can we get off fucking Eddie Hearn going commando boxing event? I mean, just the thought of it's making me fucking sick.
I would like Deontay Wilder to get into an argument with him and say, "Fuck you, you're right. You don't wear no underwears."
Yeah, but I bet Wilder goes. Hey, yeah, but what? Wilder's that vain. He goes commando as well. You know he does. He's even shaved all his fucking pubes off just for the line.
Oh man.
Perfect line
Hey, wasn't I got a 12-inch, so I don't have to wear underwear.
Hey, listen, we don't want to hear about your fantasies and what you really have. I don't care.
You know what boxing style did? He did the old Mexican trick. He took a rope, tied some rocks to it, and tied his cock to it. And every day, just a little bit, another half an inch, another half an inch.
It grew, bro. It grew.
It grew to 3 inches.
Like
That's how he grew
like Jack and the Beanstalk, bro.
He started out at 1, ended up at 3.
1 inch to 4.5 inches.
The Jack and the Beanstalk story is true, bro. Based on my life story.
Is that what you call it? The Jack or the Beanstalk? Listen, there was another... I asked a question on another podcast and nobody wanted to answer it. Does Gerald Big Baby Miller look to you like the type of guy who has a very stubby cock, like short but thick, like a stubby cock?
CDA, listen. I refuse to answer that because I don't think about fucking what.
Yeah, I've never thought about it.
I've never thought about it. Okay. To be honest with you, none of these fighters I have ever said to myself, I wonder what he has.
That's because you don't have an open mind.
Don't be lying. You've been into AJ shit, bro. Don't be lying. We know.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing you there, Jackson.
I know you like big cock. You're projecting.
I don't like AJ.
What's going on with this fucking podcast? Is Orlando Cruz funding it or something? Fuck's sake.
Hey, I said let's talk about boxing. We're talking.
Did I ever tell you? I don't know if I ever told you guys this story, but I have like a troll that comes up to my channel, right? And me and him, we just throw insults. I don't know who the fuck he is. He doesn't know who the fuck I am. We just throwing insults. I think he's Cuban. So I was shitting on him on his Cuban picks because he always goes Cuban. And now that he has no Cuban fighters, now he likes the African American fighters, right? He's one of those type of guys.
Right.
So we're going back and forth. I'm like, you guys, that's it. Cuban boxing is dead. He's like, yeah, I guess you guys are still alive, right? Who do you have? Orlando Cruz?
Oh. Now, wait a minute.
Yeah.
What was your comeback?
Even I had to give him props for that. I put the hell away. Okay, listen, that's funny as fuck.
Well, with Mexicans, somebody can tell us the same shit. They can go like, who do you have, Ryan Garcia? They're like, oh boy.
Yeah, but at least you got Mikey, you got Canelo. Come on.
Hey, by the way, recognize, is the guy trolling you?
Where's Orlando Cruz from?
He's Puerto Rican.
Oh, he's Puerto Rican.
I don't feel bad.
What is it? Hey, what is it with these Puerto Rican fighters? I mean, Cotto's another one, isn't he?
Yeah.
You know what I
mean, I can't speak for them. I don't know what the fuck is wrong with them. I know.
And by the way,
I might be surprised. I bet we find out that fucking Trinidad was taking up the ring hole. Do you know what I mean?
No,
exactly.
Trinidad was a man's man.
Yeah, I knew you were going to say that. I knew you were going to say that, man.
He's a man's man.
By the way, didn't Miguel Cotto
all jokes aside, though, there was something not right with Cotto, the way he behaved. I mean, he came out with pink shorts and all sorts, and he slept with his trainer in a single bed when he's a multi-millionaire. It's not like it's the Club Lang training days where he's fucking training in the cellar and there's just a cold place with a mattress there.
Listen, you could talk about Cotto, you could talk about Orlando Cruz, but I won't accept nobody talking about my Tito Trinidad like that.
That's right.
I
fuck your Tito Trinidad. How about that?
I was only messing. I was just saying it's definitely Cotto and definitely Orlando Cruz, and then there might be a few more. Who knows?
You guys remember Miguel Cotto? Fucking don't forget, he shaves his legs.
Yeah, he's a fag.
He shaves his legs. I mean, what is that? Does that serve a purpose? Does that serve a purpose in terms of boxing? It makes him more aerodynamic? I don't know. And what about his son? You don't forget his son.
You're that disgusting fucking cocksucker idiot son of his.
Now, well, listen, I don't have anything against his son. I didn't say that. I didn't say that.
Johnny Sachs. Tell him
that was Johnny Sachs. Exactly.
Was that Jimmy? Was that Jimmy?
Yeah, that was Jimmy. That was Jimmy. But what was I gonna say? Yeah, Cotto. Every time you guys mention Cotto, I gotta bring up this photo that I always have here. You can look it up on the screen where he's boxing with a tutu on. At first, I thought it was photoshopped, but that looks like too good of a Photoshop job. Look at this. He's got a tutu on. It's a skirt, for Pete's sakes. What's up with that? I don't know. But anyway, absolutely.
I think Mattis in the chat says, what about Lennox Lewis, Stu? Look, if that's the case, then Lennox Lewis is Canadian, so it's never doing me.
Hey, now wait a minute. You can't. No. If you're just. We're not playing hot potato here. If the potato gets too hot, you just throw him at us, man. No. He's all yours, man.
He plays hot potato with us. He switches like.
I tell you what. Cotto never takes Uber. He shows his legs and he gets a hitchhike.
Yeah, I remember I saw him on Santa Monica Boulevard one day with his what's his name, the fat friend of his. They were holding hands, and Miguel Cotto came up to me. He says, "Hey, man, you want to party?" But he said it with a Puerto Rican accent. Hey, man.
Sounds kinky.
All right, listen. This show went to shit at the end, like always. Don't forget, we're gonna be. We want to do a Halloween podcast. No boxing. We're just gonna talk like we did on that lost. What's it called? Second Renaissance episode. Where we're talking about ghosts, demons.
Yeah.
Are you gonna do that? Are you gonna?
We need some scary pictures on the thing as well.
Hey, BDA, are you gonna do it at nighttime?
Well, 6, 7
Eastern time. I mean.
Yeah, probably like 5 p.m.
I am surprised you guys never mentioned Derevyanchenko Jacobs. This is amazing.
We did talk about it. You were too late, busy eating cereal before you got here.
Boxing Star won't be able to make it on Halloween. He'll be out fucking trick or treating.
Yeah, with some sexy chicks, bro.
Oh man,
I'll be knocking on some sexy hoe's house and shit, asking for that trick or treat. I'm gonna get the treat.
I already know Boxing Style's costume is gonna be. He's gonna go out with no clothes on with some rain boots.
I'm gonna wear a giant dick, bro. That's what I'm gonna do.
Yeah, he's gonna go commando, knock at the door and go trick or treat.
Yeah, you go dressed like Eddie Hearn. Go dressed like Eddie Hearn, like shorts and no underwear.
Style, every one of them will go trick.
Oh no, fuck that shit. It's gonna be treat. What are you talking about?
All right,
I'm
listen, we gotta go. But all right, Stu, just let us know. Everybody, bring in a subject that you want to talk about, something paranormal or conspiracy theory, ghost stories, demon stories, whatever you've got. Something that's plausible. Don't come in here with the fucking Slender Man or some shit that doesn't exist. We want plausible stuff. All right.
Every time I come out of a conspiracy theory, Butcho's like, nah, that's bullshit, man. That's bullshit. We're not even looking. So, you know, what is the truth? With conspiracies, it's hard to say that any of them are the truth. It's just a conspiracy at the end of the day. So,
oh, there's plenty to talk about, man. Plenty.
Stu's going to talk about the day that he got shacked by a poltergeist. That's what he's going to talk about.
Shacked by a clown.
Have you seen the film The Entity where... it's about a ghost that raped someone. That was based on boxing style story. Like,
you can't switch the word. You can't switch shit on me, bro. I use that on you. You can't. You have to come up with your own material.
All right, but let's be honest about it. Let's be honest about it. If you came back as a ghost, wouldn't you spend it just watching people fuck?
No,
I'm not into swinging shit, bro.
Come on. You watch porn, and if you're a ghost, you'd be doing the same thing, except you wouldn't be watching it through a screen. You'd be right there in the room watching two people.
I rarely watch porn.
Nah, I'd be fucking terrorizing pedophiles.
Oh, really?
You gotta make use of it. If you're a haunted spirit that can cause damage, you've got to make use of that. Sitting there fucking knocking one off to two people, like, what's that gonna achieve? You know what I mean? So if you're gonna be a Holy Ghost, you go and fucking sort the paedophiles out.
I'll be scaring the shit out of Paulie Malignaggi. That's what I'll be doing.
Yeah. All right, so now Stu's making me look bad because he would be using his powers for good. Meanwhile, I would be watching like fucking a bunch of 19-year-olds fucking. But hey,
Boxing Style say he was scared Paulie Malignaggi if he was a ghost.
I didn't hear that. What did he say?
He said he would be scaring Paulie Malignaggi. He picture Paulie getting scared. Ah, shit, he's scared.
That's why, bro. That's why.
Hey, but don't forget, Paulie Malignaggi can run. He ran all night in most of his fights, so he would probably run away from you real quick, man.
But Paulie's problem is when he has to throw his hands, he's fucked.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I mean, talk about a guy who just picked the wrong profession, right? I mean, he got great footwork sometimes. He's upper body movement so good, but you know, when it came to the main thing, throwing punches, just didn't work out for him.
I mean, if they had a sport, say like basketball for dwarfs, it'd have been perfect for that.
Oh yeah, definitely.
You know what?
I'll tell you what though, breaking and entering will be easy as fuck. That's what I'll tell you.
Fucking
you know all about that with your boxing style.
Oh, kind of.
If you're a ghost, you should be protecting the Charlos from getting robbed in nightclubs by hookers or by transvestite hookers, because that's what happened to them last time. So somebody a friendly spirit needs to watch over them. Guys, we gotta go. Thanks for joining us. I want to thank everybody that was here. Recognize the Matrix. Great. It was great. Yeah, fantastic. We talked about fucking swingers and a little boxing in between as well. So don't forget, Wednesday, we're going to try to do another show. Hopefully it's going to be a Halloween show, non-boxing, or maybe a little boxing. We'll see. No, loose format.
Oh, listen, I forgot one more thing. I know what Boxing Style is going to wear for, I know what he's going to wear for Halloween. He's going to be Captain Crunch. You know the Captain Crunch cereal?
Fuck yeah, I'll do that. That's fucking awesome.
He's going to be monster.
Or he's going to be
I'm going to be Captain Crunch with a baton. Yeah.
He's going to be the fucking rabbit, the Tricks rabbit. You get it, Tricks? He's going to be trying Tricks?
No, fuck that shit. It's too much porn.
All right. Listen, guys, thanks for joining us. I want to thank Recognize the Matrix. Don't forget to check out his channel. I want to thank Official Boxing Scorecards. I want to thank Stu. I want to thank Boxing Style. I want to thank Cameron, who was here earlier as well. Of course, my co-host Bucho. Can't forget him. I want to thank Steven Schneider for the contribution. I see Carnival, a.k.a. Precise, is in the chat room. Wish we could have gotten him on the show. I don't even know if he wanted to be on, but we do have to go. But next time, we'll get his thoughts. Next time, if he wants to come on.
Besides, he's going to be a vegan on Halloween.
Fuck that asshole. Fuck him and his veganism.
All right, now wait a minute. Why you got to be... First of all,
he's not a vegan. He's against
Yeah, he's...
What are you talking
about? Against his veganism, whatever he is doing. Fuck that. He's got to stop it. You got to eat some fucking vegetables or something eventually, bro.
There's people that eat meat. There's people that eat vegetables, and then there's boxing style that sustains on nothing but cereal.
I'm an omnivore, bro. I eat everything.
Precise. If you're listening, dress up as a big piece of steak and knock on Halloween and knock on a vegan's door. That's all you got to do.
Knock on my door. I'll eat that motherfucker.
All right.
Peace, everybody. Peace.
Yes, thanks everybody for joining us. Don't forget, like I said, Wednesday. Don't forget to like. Don't forget to subscribe. Unfortunately, I don't have my chat. Oh yeah, I do have the chat room feature here. So I want to thank everybody that was here real quick. Azzy, Saint Brit, Shepherd of Sons, Mateus Lise, Nesmatic, Guerrero de la Info, Neto, Jade Luis Titman, Nino Gadji, of course. What's that?
See ya, Bucho. See ya, BDA. See ya, everybody.
All right.
Bro.
Thanks for being on, guys. Thank the Punisher as well. Who else do I want to thank? I want to thank a whole bunch of people. I'm trying to look for the names here. Official Boxing Scorecard, like I said, he was in the chat room as well. Precise Puncher as well, who was here. Lion Bar. Yes, many more people. Thank you guys. I can't get to you all. But thanks again for joining us, and we will see you on the next one, folks. Take care.